Guys, what's going on? It's TJ. We are into week 13 of the NFL. Today is Wednesday, November 29th. I am officially just getting over the week 12 tilt that I put myself through, going through some personal stuff with my team, the New York Football Giants, and some other, really bad news of the Eli Manning benching and all that. But we'll keep that stuff for a different segment or different episode. Week 12. That was the Thanksgiving week last week. So, we had the holiday. There were pretty much two main slates because Draftkings rolls out an amazing day of Thanksgiving tournaments. So, kind of broke up my process. No excuses, though. Just, Thanksgiving week is tough to get stuff done. There's a lot of chores, a lot of family and friends coming into town, a lot of cooking and stuff like that. So, I think that had a major effect on my train of thought and process of like how I like to go about things and do my research. But we'll make a note and be better next year for it and be prepared. But that being said, week 12, one of the most tilting weeks, if not the most tilting week of my life in playing NFL DFS. I thought it would be a good idea to fade a chalky Julio Jones. I knew the risk that I was taking doing so. He was in an explosion spot. I understand that he was the lowest price he's been in years, but I've been trying to fade that chalk. I think it's a mistake. I did eat some of it here with like Cooper Cup, but hey, I'll be stronger for it. But definitely was a candidate for Max Payne. That game was in the 1 p.m. slot too, so it was just like the whole day was shot. It was one of those Sundays where I wanted to just go to bed by about 8 o'clock at night after the Sunday night football game. But enough about me and how tilted I was. I hope you guys did better. I hope you guys had a better week than I did. It wasn't hard to do so. So with that being said, let's just jump into it. I'm going to do a little bit of a lineup review. I'll go over what I was thinking, then we'll go over and take a look at the winners lineup and see what he did. And then after that, I am going to do a Week 13 game-by-game breakdown or guys that I'm really interested in, but that will be a different video. So without further ado, let's just go. I went with Drew Brees here as my QB at a very, very low 3%. I like what I did here. I like my train of thought. I wanted to have skin in this game. I knew Jared Goff would be a chalkier quarterback at home, putting up really impressive numbers. I knew Kamara and Ingram have been, fantastic running back options. It's no secret. So thought I'd kind of differentiate myself here. Also thought, New Orleans might be coming or playing from behind. So I thought Drew Brees might sling the rock a little bit more than he has in past games. He wasn't too expensive. I mean, for Drew Brees and what we're used to, $6,900. So not mad at it. He's just not being the Drew Brees that we know of. So one passing touchdown, 246 passing yards, and 5 rush yards, only good for 14.34. So it didn't do us any favors. And with only 3% of the field having this guy, just not a good outcome of events. But I do like the play. I do like what I was thinking here, and it makes sense. I don't think Drew Brees is washed up. I think he's older. I think he can rely heavily on his run game and great defense. But I think when Drew Brees needs to air it out and needs one of those like 400-yard, 3-tutty games, I think he still has it in him. So not mad at this. This would have been a great leverage spot, off of Kamara, off of Ingram, and some of the other plays here, and Golf. So I really don't mind this, even though it didn't work out. Todd Gurley, 22%, so he was chalky. Another guy on the slate who was very chalky, about 25%, was Kareem Hunt, who had an absolutely awful day. So I went with the Gurley factor. I like the fact that this guy's on the field pretty much, whether they're ahead, they're behind, third down, first down, can run the rock, can catch it. He's just an amazing athlete, getting just a ton of targets, rushing attempts. So I like the spot that he was in here. And, we kind of get off of Golf and we're on Gurley. So didn't mind that. He didn't have too great of a game. 74 rush yards, 54 receiving yards, of 4 catches for 16.8. That's a good real-life game, but we want this guy to get in the box, especially at his price tag of $8,800. So We're wanting to get about 24 here with him, so didn't do us any favors there. The next running back that I played was Joe Mixon. I really like this. We knew that A.J. Green was going to be chalky. Cleveland is pretty good against the run. It's surprising. You wouldn't think Cleveland's good at anything. They are pretty stout against the run. McCourty at cornerback is also pretty good, holding wide receiver ones to respectable numbers. So I wanted to get off the AJ chalk, get onto Joe Mixon. I didn't think he would be as high owned as he was, 12.6%. So obviously, other people were, onto the same thing that I was. But 12.6% is still great. You can really rise up fast in a tournament at that ownership rate. He went off for, I think, his best game of the season, if not one of the best. One rushing touchdown, 114 rushing yards, so he got our lovely 3-point bonus here. And he had 51 receiving yards and 3 catches. So good for 28.5 on a weekend where a lot of the chalkier, expensive guys completely bricked. Joe Mixon was a fantastic play. So far, the one good play that we made. The next play was Cooper Kupp. Very chalky play here. No surprise with Robert Woods being out. He was mid-priced at $5K. Just seeing a ton of work, a ton of volumes. In his last 4, he has 5, 7, 7, and got 11 targets in this game without Robert Woods being there. Just a really nice slot receiver. Really good rookie player here. Got us 22.6 points. He got us the bonus on 8 catches, but did not score a touchdown. But definitely did what he needed to, and definitely could have won a tournament with this play. So not mad at it. A little chalky for my liking, but he did what he was supposed to do. Our next player was Michael Thomas, 10%. I didn't like the outcome, just like Breeze, but I don't mind the play. If you look at this guy's targets, 11, 10, 11, and 8, getting just a ton of work. We just need him to get in the box. We need him to break a long TD. He had only a long of 24 here, so didn't do us any favors in this game. It didn't work out, but not mad at this process. So don't mind these 4 plays here, actually. I don't mind this, actually. To be honest, I don't really mind this lineup. There's a couple things down here that I'm not too happy about, but it didn't work out here. 52 receiving yards on 5 catches for 10.2. But like I said, I have faith in these guys. Love the volume of targets he's getting, and we'll be on this a little bit more. Hopefully his ownership and price keep on going down, and we could catch Michael Thomas and Drew Brees and catch lightning in a bottle at a really low ownership. My next play was Dede Westbrook. Dede this was his second game. So we knew Marquise Lee would draw Patrick Peterson's attention, and we do not like to attack Patrick Peterson, just a lockdown cornerback. So Dede Westbrook saw 6 targets in his first game, saw 10 targets in this one. Like I said, not mad at this one either, not mad at this play, just didn't work out. Didn't kill us because he was so cheap at 3,600. So he did get us 41 receiving yards and 6 catches, good for 10.1 points. He's a little bit higher owned than I expected. I did hear a lot of people talking about him, but I thought he would have been like the 4 or 5% range, but not big deal. If he goes off, you're going to benefit at 8.8%. And we'll keep an eye on Dede, and he should be getting a lot more targets. Incredible football player from Oklahoma, so we'll see what he has in store for us in the future. Now, this is my next play, Jared Cook. This was super contrarian. We knew who the chalk was going to be. Denver is really bad against tight ends. It's really hard to decipher what Oakland's game plan is going to be week to week. Given the situation that happened, Amari Cooper leaving with injury and Crabtree and Aqib Talib getting thrown out of the game, I thought Jared Cook was in a fantastic spot here to explode. Not that we had any sort of sweat with this lineup anyways, but, it's just really hard to get this Oakland Raiders team right on offense. They just go to so many different guys, so many different running attacks and inconsistencies. He had 1 catch for 1 yard for 1.1 points. So I don't know if I'm mad at this play. It just didn't work out. But, just really frustrated with rostering Raiders guys. It's very hard to get them right. In the flex, we had the great Larry Fitzgerald, future Hall of Famer, super low owned, rightfully so, going against Jacksonville and Jalen Ramsey and Bouye and co. Do such a good defense, but I think Larry Fitzgerald is one of those guys that's almost matchup proof. Can go against anybody, lines up pretty much in the slot, so get a lot of quick passes thrown to him. Didn't work out in this scenario. Only 3 catches for 12 yards and a 2-point conversion for 6.2. So I should have probably thought this over. I thought this was going to be a nice little pivot off guys like Sanders and Demaryius Thomas, who I think people were really high on. I wasn't very high on those guys. I didn't think Paxton Lynch was primed to do anything much in this game, even given how bad the Raiders defense is. I just don't think Paxton Lynch is an NFL quality quarterback. So, that obviously hurts Demaryius Thomas and Sanders, which I thought would carry much bigger ownership than Larry Fitz, which they did. Just didn't work out here. But, Fitz is one of those guys that I'll take in bad matchups, and you'll see him go off. And then rounding out, I stacked the Joe Mixon play here with the Bengals D. Didn't get us what we wanted to here, but I like playing, defenses against Cleveland, especially when Cleveland's on the road. They did get us 4 sacks, but somehow let up 14 to 20 points and only got us 5 points. So an abysmal 114-84, no good there. Didn't do us any help in winning anything with this lineup, but not really mad at it. Like in poker, you have to have a quick memory. You want to make sure that your process is right, that you're doing things to win you tournaments. Now, fading Julio Jones was probably a really bad idea in hindsight, but if Julio goes off, or if Julio even has a 20-point game at that ownership or 25-point fantasy game, we're in good shape, and I like to attack this game late or have this lineup attack late. So didn't work out here. Let's check out what the winner did, Ending. I'm not going to take too much time into his plays. First off, congratulations to Ending. Looks like he is a serious player, putting 147 entries into a $75 tournament. I did see him on top of a bunch of different leaderboards with this same lineup. So nice score, very nice play, man. Congrats. He went with Carson Wentz, a future GOAT, 3.5%, just way too low owned given the spot at home. 3 passing touchdowns, only in 227 pass yards and 29 rush yards. I don't think they had to really keep their foot on the gas here. Most of this production came in the first half. So good for 23.98 points and super low ownership. Next play was a fairly chalky Carlos Hyde. Carlos Hyde was 5,500. Just seeing a tremendous amount of opportunity. A lot of rushing attempts. Stays on the field on third down. A lot of targets. He got 13 targets on this game, 7 catches. So really like his usage. Didn't have a very productive day because Seattle has a very stout run D, and they usually come in with a solid game plan. So not too many guys that have to look out for here in San Francisco. So you could kind of cheat and show a lot of attention to Carlos Hyde, which was the reason why he only produced 47 rush yards and 21 receiving yards on 7 catches and 13 targets. So 13.8 points. But hey, man, won $1 million with the guy in his line, so didn't hurt him. Next play was Joe Mixon, which I had in my lineup. So, like I said, props to this play, worked out. Julio Jones, God, the tilt continues. The chalky Julio, just there was no coming back from this explosion game. 2 touchdowns, 253 receiving yards, 12 catches on like 15 targets. So he took the cape off. He was Superman. It wasn't Cam. This was Superman on Sunday, and he hurt me and hurt our Draftkings balance very badly. The next play was Jermaine Kearse. This was probably one of the plays that definitely won him this thing. 1.3%, only at $4,000 in Draftkings dollars. So very cheap salary, and went nuts. He got the 100-yard bonus on 105 receiving yards and 7 catches and a touchdown, good for 26.5. So fantastic play here, man. This was super sharp. this game went nuts in the second half. So very nice, and this was definitely a key component of why he won this $1 million and some other tournaments. Next play was Cooper Kupp, which was very chalky. We already went over that in my lineup. He had Gronk in tight end. Love this. Definitely chalkier than I thought he would be. I mean, Gronk is always a very popular play, but coming off a week where he did brick versus Oakland at a very high ownership in a great spot, I thought he would be, 10%, 15%, something like that. Went nuts with the targets that he did get. 8 targets for 5 catches and 2 touchdowns. So Gronk doing Gronk things, being the beast that he is. And, New England smashes a division opponent, and it is what we are used to in this time of year. So a nice play here. He went with a 2 tight end set, which I had a lot of 2 tight end stuff this week, just not this combo. Zach Ertz, probably, if not the best, the second best or third best tight end in the league. Him, Gronk, and Kelsey are just ridiculous. Zach Ertz, a ridiculously low 3% own, just like his boy Wentz. Just seen way too much targets for being that low. Coming back from a little bit of a hamstring injury, but looks to be fine. 12 targets, 10 catches, good for nearly 30 fantasy points. This was definitely, I would say, him and Jermaine Kearse won him this $1 million. So really nice play here. Ertz had 1 touchdown, 103 receiving yards, so he got us the bonus, and 10 catches. So really nice play here. And wrapping up the $1 million lineup is the Cardinals D at a very, very low 3.1%. 3 sacks, interception, and 2 fumble recoveries. I mean, versus Blake Bortles at home, love this spot. Cardinals D is very tough, very stout, get a lot of pressure on the QB. So like this, loved his process through this lineup. Kind of took some chalky plays and got it in there with some really low percent plays that went off. So congrats to Ending 44. Awesome score, man. Hopefully you guys are taking something from these lineup reviews and using them to help you guys, be more successful throughout the year. I know I do. I like doing my homework and going back and seeing what worked and what didn't. But if you guys are liking these, please hit the like button below and comment. I will be coming out a little bit later on today with a Week 13 early review. See the guys that we like and see the guys that we think are going to be in good spots to hopefully win us $1 million next week. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and hope you have a great week, and good luck to yourselves in Week 13.